Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Crazy Monkey here again, another blog update. So, me and my husband, we were just in Seattle a few days ago for his brother's wedding, and just got back into Ogden last night. And, you know, when you're out of Seattle for like a long time, like I've been now out of Seattle for almost a year, because we left Seattle in February, and now it's December, early December. So I've been out of Seattle, me and my husband, we've been out of Seattle for almost a full year. And it's like when you go back, it's like you really see just what a bubble it is. You really see what a mind cult that the leftist liberal system truly is. And you see how the corporations are just making billions off this cult. And I'll explain it real quick. Here's how it works. You know, you go to Seattle and people worship their career so much in Seattle, especially the young people, especially the people in their like 20s to early 30s. It's like everything they talk about is career, 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 college, college, college. And obviously college and career go together, you know, because you have to go to college to get the career, so those two go together. And they're just obsessed with college and career. It's like they're not obsessed about relationship, they're not obsessed about family, they're not obsessed with having fun, they're not obsessed with skiing or the mountains. You know, they're not obsessed with partying, having fun, they're not even obsessed with like anything like normal people would be obsessed with. They're obsessed about their career, and their college degree. And I wouldn't say it's an atheist city, but a lot of the young people are like agnostic, I guess you could call it. So it's like everything gets put on the back burner. Like God, religion, they put that on the back burner, they put their family on the back burner. The idea of taking a vacation, the idea of relationship, marriage, all on the back burner. It's like everything they focus on is career, 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 college, college, college. And then you think about it, they're going to get that career going in Seattle. They're going to work 70 hours a week in some white-collar job, 70 hours a week. Who does that benefit? It benefits the mega corporations. It benefits the billionaire CEO. That's who that benefits. Benefits the universities, you know, at their $1 million coach salaries and their $200,000-300,000 university president salary. You know, it benefits them. You know, the whole system is basically to make these rich people at the top filthy, filthy rich. And then you just get college degree after college degree, you the young person, and say Seattle or San Francisco, you get college degree after college degree, your first degree is worthless, so you gotta go back to school, get a second degree, and then you realize you're making like $80,000 a year, but then you're making that $80,000 in Seattle or San Francisco where the money has no value, so then you can't buy a house, so then you gotta live in a studio or a one bedroom for your entire life. The entire system's sick. And then they can't get relationship because they work 70 hours a week and they're always going back to school. They're always going back to school. You know, so relationships like impossible. Like we're just like talking, me and my husband, we're just talking with a lot of his friends, and it's like the same story every time, just repeat it again and again and again. It's like, yeah, I can't really have a relationship right now, we can't really date right now because I'm in school and I'm taking a full semester credits and I'm studying like 20, 30, 40 hours a week and I'm working a full-time job 40 hours a week and I just have no time for a relationship. That's the plan, folks. That is the plan of the corporate elites, all right? The plan is phase one, you go to the university. You get the worthless degree. Then phase two, you have to get a degree that has value. Then you are $100,000 in debt. Now you get the white-collar job. Now you work 70 hours a week in that white-collar job. You never have time for a relationship. You always put a relationship on the back burner. And then one day, you're going to be 50 years old. You're going to be 50 years old one day. To all you yuppies, liberals, because that's what most of you are. Most of you are yuppie liberals in San Francisco, Seattle, 90% Democrat Party voters on record. And, you know, one day you're going to be like 50 years old, and you're going to realize you just gave your whole life to the university. You just gave your whole life to your job, the corporation you work at. And what did they give you? Nothing. You're still going to be stuck in the studio, the one-bedroom apartment. You're still going to be stuck, living in poverty and student loan debt. It's a slave system to keep you a slave. And they want you single because that's a great way to keep you a slave. Because then you ain't got two incomes to pay the bills, you only got one income. So then you're an ideal slave, and then you're going to work 70 hours a week for the big mega corporations living in a micro studio. It's a slave system, that's what it is. It's a total slave system. So it's like going back there and just listening to people talk. It was just very depressing. You know, it's very depressing because they're like they're enslaved by this corporatist, globalist, socialist, liberal system. And it's like they virtue signal all the time about how great they are, how wonderful they are, and how liberal they are. And a lot of these people, they like live in Seattle or San Francisco because they think liberals love them. They think liberals care about them. They're like, well, I live in Seattle because we have a 15 minimum wage and we care about the poor people and we care about the homeless and we help people with all the programs. And I'm like, no, it's the exact opposite. Seattle, San Francisco are the worst places for poor people to live. They are the worst places for poor people to live. No, you're not helping these poor people. No, you're actually enslaving them. You're keeping them as slaves. You're actually destroying them. That's actually what you're doing. You know, the whole socialist system they got going, like in cities like San Francisco, Seattle, it's set up, you know, to benefit the mega corporations, CEOs at the top. It's set up to benefit the politicians making their 200,000 salaries. That's who benefits from it. It benefits wealthy landowners, wealthy property owners, because the prices of real estate skyrocket, so the wealthy property owners, their wealth skyrockets. You know, and then the young people that go into those leftist systems and they virtue signal, thinking they're helping, thinking they're changing the world. You ain't doing nothing. No, you're just a slave to the system. All right? And the virtue signaling, it's really sick, because what that is, these people, they're working 70 hours a week, going to school, doing all these jobs, because career and their university degree is all they care about, mostly. And then it's like, what happens to these people is they feel bad about it, because they're not having no fun, they're not having no family. You know, they kind of feel bad sometimes. So then they just virtue signal for some leftist cause, you know, because that just makes them feel good about themselves for a few minutes. It's just so fake. It's so fake. The whole setup of San Francisco is a giant bubble. It's just so fake. And of course, some of the old timers, they're more normal. But then again, a lot of those are Trump supporters. Like, I know people in the Seattle area, they're more normal. But again, they got the MAGA hat on. You know what I'm saying? They got the MAGA hat on, saying "Make America Great Again," and they're more normal. And then they bought their house for like $200,000. They bought their single-family house for $150,000. You know, 30, 40 years ago or something, or 20 years ago or whatever. And it's like, they're the ones that are more conservative. And then they got the family. You know, they got the wife, they got the 2 kids. They're actually the conservatives. But they're like, their numbers are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Pretty soon there ain't going to be any of them left in the Seattle area. Same thing in San Francisco. And pretty soon it's just going to be all these young people just virtue signaling about how leftist they are, how great they are, how much they hate Trump, how much they hate conservatives. And it's just sick, because the reality is all they're doing is being slaves for these corporations and these universities. That's all they're doing. It's just really sick. Just want to say that real quick.